Testing the mic, testing 1, 2, 3. There we go. Hello. Superstar Rose, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, thank you. If you have been here before. And this is a place that I've definitely been before. It's amazing how quick nostalgia can kick in. So I started these videos almost a year ago, which is really crazy to think about. I don't have many published, as you can see, that we're working on. But as you can also see, it's quite windy out. It's chilly. Got the coat back on. No more shorts. But I was going to record at the other location today, and I figured I'd take a peek of what it looks like over here. I haven't been over here in a while, and I had a feeling that these bushes were going to have started to change in color. I had a feeling they were going to be reddish, and I just think they look so cool. So I figured I'd come back to my original location and make it like a, almost like a year celebration of starting my channel. So I definitely have been very influenced by other YouTubers in terms of creating videos more frequently, and I definitely intend on doing that. That's going to be on my New Year list, but I'd like to start that before the New Year. So that's something I'd like to build momentum on, gearing toward as we approach a new year once again, and also just to creating momentum to create momentum to do the videos every single day, and then ultimately, having more to publish on a regular basis. It's not about how much I publish, it's about delivering content that I'm happy with, that, I feel like today's video has a very powerful message, and it was delivered very powerfully in a way that I think people can really hear it. So that's what it's about. And like I said before, sometimes the editing just takes longer than I'd like, especially now that I'm back in this spot. This can be an especially challenging location to record and edit. I want to cross my fingers and try to get my message out before the train comes by, because I'm sure there will be one at some point. But until it's very late in the day too. I just have to say, I am recording this very late in the day. We are actually gearing toward evening on a Sunday. So not my typical thing, but I had an extra long workout today, and that was really awesome. And so that set things back for recording, but for positive reasons, So I did actually text myself a couple of ideas that came to me, I think both yesterday and today, because I didn't want to forget them. So the first one, I'll do them in order as when they came to me. The first one came to me in terms of, so I deliver content that tends to be, and I do have to say, I don't think I published the video where I did state this yet. It might hit before this one does. So I might end up publishing a video where I talk about how I'm going to get a lot weirder on this channel and talk about law of assumption and things like that, because I'm knee deep into the law of assumption concepts. And in my opinion, like I said before, I think it's all the same. There's a lot of gnats flying around my face right now. It's all the same. It's just like having different teachers teach the same thing, whether, I've taken ice skating, I've taken different things where, I've had some different teachers, and of course classes in general, and they're all amazing, wonderful in their own ways, equally in my opinion. I don't have they're all great. We'll take ice skating, because that's a situation where I had several teachers, and they were all equally great. I don't have I prefer this one over this one. It's just that sometimes they will say a magic word or a magic phrase talking about the same move, and that will click for me. And I'm sure the same is true for everybody. And that's how I see these concepts like law of attraction, law of assumption, reality transurfing. I think it's all really, in my opinion, I interpret it as it's like the same thing, or they are really sort of, the goal is to really get you to think of things in the same way. Like they're all sort of doing the same thing. You're all sort of playing the same mental exercises. It's just like different ways of getting you there to do that. Sort of hijacking mental programming, and they're just like different ways to do it. That's the way that I see it. But what I wanted to talk about was, with that said, and how I'm going to get a lot weirder on this channel, is I wanted to make today's video on a more sort of, maybe not the whole video, but this segment of the video is going to be like a more practical approach to the things that I talk about. So that came to me when I think about these concepts. If you're not in the woo-woo world, or you think this stuff is like too woo-woo, you know, the energy work, the law of attraction, law of assumption, and these types of things. It does say on my channel that I'm about next leveling. I'm really about up leveling. For some reason it wouldn't let me type that, so I put next leveling. But I really believe in up leveling. I really believe in quantum shifting. And it's really up to you. And I know that could sound annoying, because it's like, well, if I could just do it, then I would. And it really just is rehijacking your consciousness, rehijacking, you know, the way that you think the majority of the time, and taking back your focus so that you can align with things from an intentional place, you know, as opposed to on default, on autopilot. And the point that I wanted to make was this being the more practical approach to it, is looking at it as its goal setting. It really is the same thing. Think about it. If you don't set a goal for something, if there's something that you want, if it's like physical fitness related, I'm obsessed with that. Just to let you know, if you haven't figured that out yet, I'm just obsessed with physical fitness challenges and just always challenging myself. And recently I just started challenging myself more, so I'm really excited about that. But that aside, regardless of what it is, if you want to learn how to do something, you want to become more physically fit, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you have to first have the goal to do it. You have to set the intention to do it. You have to believe that you can do it. And if you don't believe that you can do it, but you still want to do it, I would say the first thing to do is just write it on a piece of paper that you want to do it. Look at it every single day. Look at it every single day. Write it on a piece of paper and look at that thing, that goal, every single day. Because the first place we want to get you to is to believe that you can do it. So now that we've done that, it's like telling somebody, or it's just like, you know, how people say they want to win the lottery but they don't play. It's like that. You can't win the lottery if you don't play. And I'm not suggesting you go play the lottery. If you want to play the lottery, go do that. But it's just an example of, like, you're not going to reach any kind of goal if you don't set the goal. Like, I feel like we really collectively as a society have gotten into so much complaining and looking at like negative focus on things that aren't going right, and what is wrong with the world, and all of this and all of that, and external things that we can't control. But you could control yourself, and you could control your own mind and the things that you are feeding your mind. So goal setting, brainstorming. Let's make this a practical, at least part of this video. I can't promise that I'm not going to get weird at the end of the video, but this part of the video I'm going to make practical. So write down the goal, whatever it is. Write it down. Look at it every single day. And if you get excited about it, that's awesome, because if you look at a goal, look at it every day, and if it's at first triggering because there's resistance about it, you don't have the belief that you can achieve it, that's normal. Just keep looking at it every single day until it becomes boring and normal. And then once you're like used to seeing this every single day, that is one way that I think you'll automatically start your mind will automatically start coming up with ways that you can like small steps of how you can achieve it. Another thing you can do is write down the goal the first day and ask yourself, what are some steps that I can take to get me closer to this goal? What are steps I can take to achieve this goal? You could just ask it, right out. Because the thing about your subconscious mind is that it'll give you the answers to whatever you're asking it. Unfortunately, we tend to ask our subconscious mind some negative, crappy things. We will get the answer to either thing. You'll get the answer to either thing that you ask it. So you might as well get in the practice of asking it positive things. And I guess this is where I got a little bit woo-woo, because now we're talking about subconscious mind. But it is your mind, and it has been programmed. So just as an exercise, whether you believe in this kind of aspect of this video or not, these ideas or not, try it out and get quiet for a minute. Ask yourself, what steps can I take? How can I achieve this goal? How can I get this thing that I want? I'm pointing to, this is the paper that you wrote it on. You don't really have to write it on paper. I just think that writing it on paper is powerful. It's powerful to write it down, and then it's powerful to look at it every single day, because you're making it normal then. If you see it every single day, it's like everything else that you see every single day. And then it becomes less mystical. It becomes less something that's like out of your reach. It becomes something that is just normal. It's a normal everyday thing that isn't on a pedestal. So that's just something I wanted to talk about. Make intention setting, goal setting, if that sounds more realistic, because it is something that the average person or the regular people in the regular world that aren't in the woo-woo world, that's something that they do to achieve things. And again, you have to have the goal in order to achieve it. If you don't have the goal, or allow yourself to have the goal, or allow yourself to want it, there's no way it could get to you. There's no way you could align with it. You're just going to continue to block yourself from it. So I, talk to friends and stuff about that concept, and say, if you're trying to be like an athlete, or let's say you're trying to be an Olympic runner, you want to run a marathon, and every single day you're laying in bed, but you want to be the person that's like runs a marathon, but every single day you're like, I'm laying in bed, I'm laying in bed, I'm laying in bed, I'm laying in bed. Like, if you do that, you are not going to become a marathon runner. If you just keep declaring that you're laying in bed, or if you're declaring that you're lazy, or whatever it is that you do, I have a crappy diet. It's like, okay, those are things, but can they be changed? Well, of course they can. And you can take the smallest step by literally taking steps and going for walks. I mean, it can be the smallest, littlest steps. I think that's what blocks us too from goals, is that we see them as being so big, and it's like, you have to start somewhere. If you're a person that doesn't even run at all, and you're like, oh my God, it just gets so exhausted running, just start walking, and walking at the pace that feels comfortable to you. Go for a very leisurely walk where you're enjoying nature. I mean, I recommend that anyway. I mean, that's something to do anyway, at any time, for everybody. It just feels really good to do that, especially on a sunny day. Today is overcast, but I think it's really cool. It's really honing in on this October situation. I'm really enjoying, I don't know, it's just very fun. So that's on that. Just declare what your goals are. And that was assuming you had one goal. I mean, you probably have many goals. But start thinking about what your goals are, and stop placing them out of your reach. They are in your reach. You can achieve them. You will achieve them. And you have to give yourself the chance to do so. You can't assume that you just can't do it, or it's too far away. I mean, that's what we do. But you first have to declare what it is. And then your very brilliant mind will give you the small steps to take to get you closer until you ultimately achieve it. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, and another great thing you can do is think back to a time when there was something that was really daunting to you that you didn't think you could do, and you ended up doing it. Write those things down, because that's very powerful. I think that we forget about those things. That's why I guess was inspired to share the idea of the notebook, that I'm still doing that concept, and I do forget about it a lot because I switched notebooks, and I keep forgetting to buy a second notebook. I mean, I could just literally go to the Dollar Tree and get one for $1. And writing down all the things that you do that made you feel good in a day. And that's another good way to word it. Like, all the things that you do in a day that make you feel good. Like, it doesn't have to just be this big accomplished thing, like you painted your entire house, or you painted a room. It could be something like, I cleaned up the kitchen, looked pretty good today, or I made some food item that turned out really good, or even if it didn't turn out good, I just tried something different, and that was cool because I really wanted to try that, and maybe I could perfect it or use a different recipe next time. It could be something even smaller than that. It really just things that I don't think we give ourselves credit for, the things that go right in our day. We're always laser focused on what's still missing, what did we not do yet, how much more is there that needs to be done? And that's just very exhausting. It's exhausting, and those things block you from the things that you want. Those things block you because they take a lot of energy away from you. And it's just like that bully in your mind that's trying to remind you of all the setbacks that you actually don't have. They're just self-created. So we gotta hush that voice down, and we gotta amp up the things that happen in our day that go right. And it could be the smallest thing. I don't care if you brushed your hair and your hair looks shiny. Put that on the list. So just to bring up the New Year's notebook, because it's a fun exercise, and it's something that you could review at the end of the year to set your new intentions for the new year, and then see all the things that you don't even realize that you actually achieved this year. It's pretty amazing. It's awesome, and it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. So there's that. And then another topic I wanted to bring up for today was appreciation and the importance of that. And I was just really basking in appreciation yesterday and this morning, thinking about some things that I overcame, some things that I manifested, I guess you could say, things that just came to me in the moments where, of course, go figure, I let them go. Things that I wanted, but I just felt like there were too many things, and it's how am I gonna do all these things or get all these things, and I just had to kind of drop it, and those things just came to me, mystical ways of those things coming to me, and I just felt really, really appreciative. I felt very grateful last night, and I just want to make sure that I'm doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on being grateful and basking in appreciation of things that I have gotten, things like people in my life, first and foremost, and just things that I've been able to achieve, and things that I received, but I didn't think it was the timing wasn't the timing to receive it, or there was some kind of problem with receiving it. In the moments that I just let that go, those things were able to come to me, and they came to me very easily. I mean, simply. I can't wrap my head around how easy these things just showed up, and I just really appreciate that. And being in a state of appreciation is a very, very, very high state to be in. It's a very high frequency. It just feels good to be in that state. It feels good to bask in appreciation, because it leads your mind to other things that you feel appreciative for. You'll see, if you do that, and again, I recommend writing a list, because it's fun making lists. For me anyway, I just think it's fun writing things down, because it's powerful. Once you're writing it down, it's you want to just keep coming up with things then. You know what I mean? And then you don't forget them because you've written them down. And the more you look at things, the more it's like a game. The more you just want to keep coming up with things and thinking of things that you are appreciative for. And it's just really fun, and it just draws to you more things to be appreciative for. And it's just very amazing. And I have to tell you, I did a very long workout today. Let's say, I don't know if I'm quite halfway through this coffee, which isn't very strong today, which is probably good. But I think like I was very tired. I was like, my afternoon dip was happening. And I'm talking, we're very late in the afternoon. We're almost evening at this point. We're pretty close to evening. And I just really wasn't feeling. I didn't think I was going to be able to come out and do a video. But I guess because I am caffeinating myself, which I don't recommend. That's not the solution. And I have been saying this since the beginning. I am going to take a break from caffeine, and I don't know when that is, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to finally do it and document my results. You know, kind of like follow myself around with the camera and just kind of like document how I feel day to day. And I think that'll be really fun. It'll be a cool experiment, and I would love to share it. So until then, I'm just going to use this to wake myself up after a day of a lot of physical exertion. I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but so that's kind of all I have. I mean, those were the two topics I actually reminded myself to talk about. But when I was talking about the hijacking of our consciousness, basically, to me, these concepts like manifesting, I know it's like a word, it's like, to me, these things are basically just taking back your focus. Your focus has been hijacked, and it's re-hijacking it to take it back, so that you are now aligning with things from an intentional place and not from a place of default by all these things on the outside that are coming at you, and you're just like reacting to them. So that's like really what I want to teach on my channel is just taking back ownership of your focus, so that, you know, this isn't about like dishonoring your feelings ever. Like, it's, you know, always honor your feelings and go, you know, let yourself feel what you're feeling through. But it's just about, there's a sweet spot of how long we want to do that before, you know, re-empowering yourself, you know, switching the story. So I think I might end today right there, because I mean, like I said, those are the two topics. My channel is about reclaiming your focus, next leveling. I like to say up leveling, because I do believe in quantum leaping, quantum shifting. When you really start getting into these like concepts, it becomes easier and a lot of fun. So if you're new to this kind of information, it might seem daunting at first. It might seem challenging at first, but when you just really practice it a lot, practice it very frequently, you'll see how easy it becomes. It just becomes second nature. It just becomes like, I'm obsessed with it. It's like my obsession to take back ownership of my focus, I guess you could say, has become my obsession, because doing that has allowed me to empower myself and achieve my goals and set new ones. And it's just a lot of fun. And then I get to share that with people. So if I don't do this in the car, which I would like to get back to doing my endings in the car, because I like that little format. Star Rose, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing if you subscribed. I really appreciate everybody that has subscribed to my channel. I know I only have a handful of videos published at this point. I have a ton of them that I have not published. I think maybe I'll do a thing where I'll like string them together, like just string like pieces of them together so you can see how many videos I actually created. But it's created, if nothing else, if they never get published, they created some serious momentum, because this is a habit that I established last year around this time. It was November when I launched the channel. It was actually the end of October. One night I went out for a walk, and that was when I had the inspiration for the name of my channel to call it Rika Star Rose. Just as like an alias. I guess you could say it's sort of like an alias for myself. My name is Erica. And I do love my name, but it's just like an alias for myself and my channel, just to add like a new kind of energy to this specific type of content and how I'm delivering it, as I normally do like to. Now that we're back at the, it's like how interesting how quick nostalgia can happen. Because it's not that long ago, but it's almost a year ago already, so I don't know how that happened, but you know, time, it's not real. It's like all in our heads. If there's anything that you, feel free to comment down below. If there's anything that I covered in today's video that you want me to elaborate on, feel free to comment down below, or if you just want to comment at all, really. But and if there's anything that I didn't mention that you would like me to cover in a future video, definitely feel free to comment that down below. I would love to hear some ideas. But as always, I will see you soon.